Hi guys, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today we're doing the Allure Best of Beauty Readers Edition recap. And I'm not going to go through every single one of the Readers Edition Best of Beauty from Allure, but I did this last year as well, or maybe the year before last year. I was in process of moving and I don't think I did much of anything, honestly, when it came to this kind of thing. And I had a lot of fun going through some of the products, and you guys seem to like the video as well. So the Allure Best of Beauty comes out every single year. They do their own, and then they also have Reader's Choice. So today we're going to talk about whether we got it right or no, in my humble opinion. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. I got a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here, but ultimately, I am just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup. It soothes my soul, it brings me joy, and I hope that it does you too, because if not, you're in the wrong place, my friend. You're in the wrong place, and that's totally okay. You can click off here. But if you want to hang out, I would love for you to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, become part of my YouTube fam. And with that said, let's roll into this topic where we're talking about some beauty products. Let's do it. So I've thought about the best way to do this over and over and over again, and I think I'm going to go through the screen grabs that I took of the Allure Best in Beauty Awards, and if I have the product, I'll of course show you my product. I also know that a lot of these I have had in the past, but I no longer have. And most of these I think are really good decisions that we made as readers and chose, but some of them I question, but I think it'll spawn some communication or some conversation because, you know, we here in the beauty space are a completely different consumer than the everyday makeup wearer. So I think it'll potentially spawn some conversation. So let's jump in. So the first one we have here is the Best in Beauty for sunscreen. And the Reader's Choice Award went to the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. And I have some thoughts. I think that this was a completely viral product. I think that there are a lot of people that loved it, but I also do not think that it is the best sunscreen out here. I love me some Supergoop. As a matter of fact, I just recently had this product in my turn and burn, and I think that this product is far better than the Unseen Sunscreen. And the reason why is because the Unseen Sunscreen, while amazing as far as a sunscreen goes, it is really kind of boasted out there as a water and sweat resistant for 40-minute sunscreen. It's got SPF 40 and it doubles as a primer. Well, it doubles as a primer because it has that same like silky, slippy feel that a lot of silicone primers really have. And this sunscreen specifically, let's just start with how much sunscreen you need to put onto your face to get the SPF 40 that this boasts, right? So when I utilize this, I put like, I learned this somewhere a long time ago, I think from Jen Love. I use these 3 fingers and I put it all up, all 3 of these fingers, and that's usually enough to do my whole face and my neck with the appropriate amount of sunscreen that you're supposed to use. This is silicone based, so if you did that on all 3 fingers, you would have so much of this on your face that anything that you put on top of it would just slide right off. And that is how I feel this sunscreen made me feel when I was using it, is that every single thing I put, it made me feel like I had slathered a handful of Vaseline all over my face and called it good, and then tried to put makeup on top of it. I think that we got this one wrong, but please Please let me know how you feel down in the comments section. I would love to hear your thoughts on these too, because like I am only one person. I just don't love the feel of this sunscreen specifically because I don't feel like you can put enough of it on without feeling like an oily mess after the fact. For acne treatment, we have the Mighty Patch, the Hero Cosmetics Micro Point for Blemishes XL Mighty Patch. And these are $24. I think I forgot to mention the Unseen Sunscreen is $38. You can pick it up at Ulta Beauty as well as other locations. The acne treatment is $24. You can pick these up at Ulta Beauty. And while I have not used these myself, I know that my daughter, who suffers from acneic skin, loves these patches, and I have seen them do wonders for her little spots that she gets. So I 100% believed these to be very much so worth the money. What I would say is you don't normally get a whole heck of a lot. So like that $24 gives you 6 patches. When you can buy like 24 micro needling patches from like Truly for like this same or less amount of money, like these are super expensive, but I would say that these do work. They do work 100%. The number one lip balm is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I actually have several Laneige products in my collection because I 100% stand behind this as something that is fantastic. So the Laneige Sleeping Mask can be purchased at Sephora. It can be purchased on Amazon, and it is $24 for the full size, the pink one that I showed you in my collection and the one that's in the picture on the screen. That is fantastic. For a long time, my daughter suffered from chapped lips to the extent that she would get this like rash around her lips. Not rash, I guess it was chapped lips that kind of gave her like clown lips. And I started purchasing that for her when she was about 5, I would say. And hands down, it has been the saving grace to keep her lips from being so chapped that they get chapped all the way around and from cracking and bleeding. And I can say for me as well, I don't have that problem with my lips anymore, not since moving here specifically, but during the winter I would get really super dry cracked lips, and Laneige Sleeping Mask every single night was what kept my lips feeling moisture rich and kept them from cracking and bleeding. For shampoo and conditioner, the word on the street is that Olaplex 4 and 5 are the shampoo and conditioner reader's choice. I do to some extent think that this might just be because they are viral products, because all of Olaplex went through that little point in time where everybody wanted to purchase Olaplex. They were so like reserved for elitists. They were only available at Sephora, and you could only get certain kinds, certain numbers from Sephora. I do, though, also know that now Olaplex is more widely offered. I know that we offer it with all of our color services at Ulta Beauty as well in our salons, and we offer it as a treatment to go with color services because of its bonding properties and because it does work from the inside of your hair to repair the hair bonds that are in your hair. And the more you use it, the more healthy your hair remains. You all know I have Vivids in my hair. What you might not know is that when I go in to get my hair done, they completely lighten me. Like I am lightened all the way down to as blonde as I can get, and then they build the color back up. This happens about every 8 weeks-ish or so. It's been a little bit longer this time, but if they weren't using Olaplex in my hair as a treatment, and if I wasn't using Olaplex at home, and right now I do have, I think, 2 brand new bottles of Olaplex 4 and 5, but I don't have them in here with me. If I wasn't using Olaplex as a treatment at home, Olaplex with my coloring services, my hair would be fried. I'm certain of it. Now, my stylist does everything that she does to keep my hair healthy, right? But if it wasn't for repairing my hair from the inside out and the utilization of a product that could help me do that, regardless, I'm taking my hair all the way down to no color and building all the color back into it every single 8 weeks, my hair would still feel not fried, maybe like burnt, but like really, really dry. And I don't think it feels nor acts like dry hair. There are times when it is a little bit more dry, like if I choose to not use my treatments or my heat protectants or whatnot, it does look a little bit more dry, specifically on the ends. But my hair is really, really healthy actually for hair that is taken all the way down to blonde and built back up every 8 weeks. The Olaplex shampoo and conditioner are $30 each, and they're really small bottles. I don't have my bottles in here, but they're not large, but they're $30 a piece. I do think that they're well worth the money though. I 100% stand by this as a good decision. I think that makes sense to me. The Way leave-in conditioner is the leave-in conditioner of choice. And this is actually quite a spectacular product. Like, I remember getting this for the first time in a BoxyCharm, and I remember thinking how wonderful it was. That and like the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair were BoxyCharm items that I remember having before they came to Ulta Beauty, and I love them so much. The Way leave-in conditioner, when my daughter was younger, my youngest daughter, problematic hair, problematic skin. She has really a lot, but very fine strawberry blonde hair, and she is really oily skin, so her scalp also produces oils at a rapid pace, but her hair gets tangled so dang easily because of how fine it is. So we used to put this Way leave-in conditioner in her hair in order to brush through her hair and not hurt her head. And I 100% love that leave-in conditioner. That is actually, between, services, that is one of the leave-in conditioners that I use pretty regularly on my hair, and as well as the Verb hair oil, the Ghost oil. I will use those two products to keep the moisture in my hair to keep it healthy. And my daughter loves the leave-in conditioner to help detangle her hair. The Way leave-in conditioner is $30. Again, it's a small bottle, but it doesn't take very much to utilize it in the way that you need to utilize it, and in addition to that, well worth the money. The Living Proof Full Dry Volume and Texture Spray is not my favorite. This is a $36 item at Ulta Beauty and Living Proof and a multitude of other places that you could find it, but all the links will be down in my description box for you. Living Proof is very polarizing for people on the fragrance of it. Some people love its fragrance. For me, I feel like it smells like pepper. So I can't use it because I feel like it smells like pepper. I do think it's great for texturizing your hair. I also think that it leaves quite a bit actually of white cast in your hair. I agree that it is a great product, but for me, it leaves a white cast and I don't love the smell of it. The best in beauty for bronzer is Hoola. And I love me a Hoola bronzer. I love me a Benefit product. Y'all know I stand Benefit. I talk about Benefit a lot. They have some of my very favorite products. And I do think that this Hoola bronzer is fantastic. What I do love about it is that you can build it up in a way that it is a contour on you while also sheer enough to create like a sun-kissed glow on your face. It is a matte bronzer, but I feel like to some extent my face feels glowy or more sun-kissed. More like, I don't know how to explain it exactly because it's a matte bronzer all the way. There's no shimmer to it, but I feel like my face looks very healthy and almost glowy when I use this bronzer. And I love that it can also be deepened up through building it up into the hollows of my cheeks. it's just enough neutral in tone that it can also be a very nice contour. It could be your one and done bronzer. Do I think it's the best bronzer? No. But I also think that there is a level of, right, this is the everyday consumer that is likely making these choices, and that is a big bronzer, an everyday consumerism. Everybody knows about the Benefit Hoola bronzer. So this is a $36 bronzer. I think that there are probably better bronzers out there that cost less than that, but I also think that there are probably better bronzers out there that are roughly right around the same price point. I do love me a Hoola bronzer. I love specifically also that it's now coming in a smaller like box, like less deep box, because it's less cumbersome in the drawer. And the next item is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blushes, and these are $23. You can pick them up at Sephora. I'm wearing a Soft Pinch blush today. This is wearing the Soft Pinch blush and then putting more foundation over the top of the Soft Pinch blush because I went absolutely ham with this guy and forgot what I was playing with, if I'm honest. This is the Soft Pinch blush in the shade Encourage. And this is really kind of mauvey, actually. And I just went boop, boop, without even thinking of it. And the next thing I know, my whole face is mauve in tone. So yes, these are fantastic. I think that even though I have put a whole nother layer of foundation over the top of this blush, you can still see it. It is still impactful, and it has lasted, you know, quite some time on my cheeks, which I love. I think that these last a very long time, and I also think that for the money, because these are $23, that is the full size of it. It's pretty large, right? You'll have blush for the rest of your life if you only buy these Rare Beauty blushes. I think that they're fantastic. I also love the packaging of them. I do think that we got this right. For concealer, we have the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm really actually shocked at this one because the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer has been like a cult classic concealer for like decades, and then all of a sudden we have like so many different amazing concealers coming out this year. I'm really actually surprised that we're still sticking with the NARS Radiant Creamy, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me. This is a really, really good concealer. I actually did have one. I think I used mine up. Mine was in the shade Creme Brulee. I believe I used mine up last year. It was a really great concealer. Is it a concealer I would repurchase? Well, if you've been around, you know, I am not a huge fan of concealers. I use them and then I just buy a new one, whichever one's new on the market. Concealer lasts me a very long time. I think I would probably repurchase the NARS Radiant Concealer in a pinch if I needed one. But I also have found some concealers that I really truly love this year. One being something that is so drugstore, so cheap. I mean, the Maybelline Instant Rewind Eraser is such a wonderful concealer, and it's like literally, I don't know, $10 or less, something around that. I also really love the Natasha Denona one. I also really love the Glossier Stretch concealers. The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer can be found at Ulta Beauty and is $32. Like, this isn't one that I can look at right now and think, oh yeah, I really loved that concealer. I need to repurchase it. But it is one that I remember liking quite a bit when I was using it. For highlight, we chose the Rare Beauty Positive Light Liquid Luminizer. This is $25 and it is at Sephora, Rare Beauty, where you can pick them up. This is a brand that is not available at Ulta Beauty, but this is the one I have, and it is huge. This is such a big thing of highlight, and this is in the shade Enlighten. This is very similar to the Soft Pinch blushes in that if you take it out and you just put it straight onto your face, you're probably going to be like See Me From the Moon alien vibes. The doe foot is huge. It is beautiful though. This is it right here. I do think that we got this one right to some extent. What I love most about this one that I don't think I get from the blushes is that I do believe that this one can be sheared out quite a bit. Regardless of the amount that you get, you can make it look normal and just like a lip from within kind of look to you if you work fast enough. That is part of the problem with these two. The more sheer you try and lay it down, the quicker it dries and becomes one with your skin, and then you can't do much with it. I do think that we got these right though, and like I said, these are $25 for such a large amount. Like, you would not need to purchase another one ever. For lip gloss, we have the Dior Addict Lip Glow. I have a Dior Addict Lip Glow that I absolutely love. Mine is in the shade, I think, Berry. I'm not sure. It's really dark, but here's the thing, is it's more of a sheer formula with a little bit of a pinkiness to it versus this really deep dark color right here. This reminds me a lot of like black cherry color. And I don't feel like it appears that way on my lips, but what I do love about it is it lasts forever. It lingers on your lips for a very long time. It feels really good. It literally makes your lips feel moisturized throughout the day as you're using it. Probably, hands down, favorite lip oil. I don't have much that I am comparing it to, though, from like the luxury space, because I do have a Clarins lip oil that I haven't tried yet, but the size of this doe foot in and of itself is the most fantastic piece because it is just so big. Like, it doesn't take much to get it on your lips. What I also love about this is it truly feels like a lip oil that is a lip oil. It doesn't feel like a lip gloss that's trying to be a lip oil, if that makes any sense. If you know, you know. We had such an influx of lip glosses that were coming out with a lip oil name, and I think it's because everybody wanted a lip oil, and they knew that to sell their lip gloss, they had to call it a lip oil, and they just weren't lip oils. They were more glossy, and they acted on your lips like a gloss, meaning they were maybe a little bit thicker. They maybe caused, you know, strindles on your lips. They weren't as moisturizing. You had to reapply all the time. I feel like this lip oil lasts, like, I can go 2 hours from now and still feel this on my lips, and that is what I would say is the proper components of a lip oil. You can still feel the hydration hours later, whereas a lip gloss, you can't feel anything. And I say that thinking of some specific lip oils that I do have in my collection that are just not lip oils. They are glosses. Bad thing about this guy is this is a $40 lip oil, and it is pretty small, but I do think, like, I've had this in my collection for months now, and I've used it quite a bit, and it's just, you don't need a whole lot to get through it. Will take you quite some time, and I do think that it's worth the $40 though, as something that helps create that hydration in your lips. For brows, now I do think that we got this right as well. Benefit Brow is the best brow in my humble opinion. And the brows category choice was Benefit Cosmetics Gimme Brow Volumizing Gel. This is it. What I will say is this is $26, and you can get it at Benefit, Ulta, Sephora. You can get it pretty much everywhere. This is the littlest, tiniest brow brush. It's super easy to use because you just brush it into your brows, and it takes the thought process out of everything because you don't have to like use a pencil. You don't have to like literally clean it up. Like, it is just, it creates an amazing brow. It does have like natural fibers in it, so it is going to also like beef up your brows if you have super sparse brows. And this comes in a multitude of shade ranges so that it suits you where you're at, and it's not going to be clear. So for clear, they have the 24-hour brow setter. This one is for the person that wants a beefed up colored brow gel. And, you know, there's a place for that. And I think everybody's collection, like I use this on days that I haven't been to see my arch expert in a while and I need a little bit of color, but I don't want to have to get my pencil out and use my pencil because I'm just not into it that day. I use it all the time for that purpose. And I think it's a good $26 spend. It'll last forever. I've literally had one of these in my collection for a good 6 or 7 months before I finally felt like it was too dry or gone. For lipstick, we did choose the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipstick, and I have not one, not two, but three. These are really good. These are really good. Like, I poo-paw on Charlotte Tilbury an awful lot in terms of some of her products. Specifically her eyeshadows, I think are garbage and way too expensive. But these are also pretty expensive. They are $35 for just a lipstick, but they are really, really nice. They're matte lipsticks, which I don't typically go for, but they go on really smoothly. You're not like pulling and tugging at them. They feel moisture rich even though they're matte, and they stay for quite some time on your lips. So I 100% agree with this. I would say like a good second to that, or maybe even first with Charlotte Tilbury coming in second, would be Natasha Denon's lipsticks. But I do think that slightly, that Charlotte Tilbury's lipsticks are maybe a little bit better than Natasha's. Don't tell her I said that. This is where I think that the actual everyday consumer is not me. For eyeshadow, we picked Urban Decay Naked 3. What? Is that real? Like, is that... I want to see the ballots. I want to see the ballots. I don't believe this. But also, I was shopping at Ulta Beauty with my sister the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact. I owed her like a birthday present. Talked her into Tula Beauty a few months ago, and she loves Tula Beauty, and we have an extra discount on some skincare, so I bought her some things, right? And while we were in there, she was looking at some palettes, and this is the exact color story that she was talking about wanting, and I was just like, I understand. I do understand. Not everybody is going to sport a crazy used every color and melts Christmas Town palette on their eyeballs, but why is this the color story of the regular consumer? I just don't understand. I also know that this palette is so old in like how long it's been out there, and there's so many better palettes on the market. And Urban Decay, y'all know, I do not like Urban Decay's Naked formula. I just feel like this is wrong. I know I'm wrong. I know that this is the everyday consumer this is what they're after, but wow, it just shocked me. When I saw that, I actually laughed out loud. This is a $59 eyeshadow palette, and I think you could get better for $59 for sure. Favorite tool is the Beauty Blender. I think this is universally going to be a favorite tool for everyday consumers as well as any consumer for many years to come. Like, this is just such a really great tool for makeup application. I will say that I do not buy beauty blenders. These are $20, but I do buy sponges that I think are just as compensatory to the beauty blender and makeup application. I think that Real Techniques makes an amazing sponge. I think that Pawpaw makes an amazing sponge, and you can get like 6 of them in a bag for like $5 off of Amazon. I have a bag in my backup ready to go when I run out of sponges. There are some really crappy sponges out there as well. Like, I have a couple in my collection right now where I was like, where did I get this sponge? This is awful. But there are some really great sponges that you're not going to pay the $20 for a beauty blender, but you're going to get the same kind of makeup application from. Real Techniques, hands down, has been one of my favorites for years. I also quite like the Ulta Beauty sponges, if I'm honest. I just think that there are better sponges out there, but I think that we got it right as far as the tool goes. For breakthroughs, we have the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Medium Coverage Foundation. I have one myself. Mine is in the shade 150 Light Cool, and I think that this is actually a pretty perfect shade match for me, specifically during the winter months. I love this foundation, and that is saying a lot because this is, I don't care what this says, this is not a medium coverage friend. I think this is high medium coverage. This is more, I think, full coverage than it is medium coverage. Low full coverage, high medium coverage is what I would say, and I am a very light to medium at best coverage kind of girl, but that is a beautiful foundation. This is a foundation that I liked from the very minute I put it on. As soon as I figured out the coverage situation that was going on and figured out what I needed to use specifically on my face to get the coverage that I wanted out of this product, it has become one of my favorite products. This is a foundation that I could see myself repurchasing. It's very luxe feeling. It's very luxe looking on the skin, and it's, you know, skincare infused. So it's got that really nice piece of it also that makes your skin look better the more you use it. I kind of look at it in the same way as I do my Chanel Numero Un, because I feel like that foundation is the same process with that foundation. It's very nice. It's skincare infused. It makes my skin look better the more days in a row that I use it. I think that the same can be said for the House Labs one. It is a foundation that I will repurchase, and it is $45. Wonderful foundation. I'm actually quite shocked that such an expensive foundation ended up on the Reader's Choice Awards, because specifically because this is about everyday consumerism, and this seemed more like a social media thing, but I mean, it makes me happy. For fragrance is the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 Perfume Mist. This is $38. And I myself have two that are in my hot little hands right now. These are so good. And I have a really old one that still says Brazilian Crush across the top of it. And I have the one that is numbered, since Sol de Janeiro has started numbering their fragrances. Back in the day, they didn't used to do that. They're really good. They smell so good. Sol de Janeiro has such a gourmand fragrance lineup, though, that if you're not into smelling like a cupcake every single day or a piece of candy, that you probably wouldn't like any of their fragrances, but they are so good. I feel like they smell like vacation in a bottle, like tropical vacation in a bottle. And because of that, I fell in love with them years ago. I will continue to purchase them. That size is actually cheaper than the $38 size. The $38 size is actually quite a bit bigger. And I do have a bigger bottle of another one of their fragrances, but it's 71. It's not 62. And the big size is actually pretty large. $38 is going to be the price that you pay for this size. This one is the 3-ounce size. It's still a relatively decent size. It's still going to last you a long time, but this one is $24. I do think the bigger bang for your buck is, of course, spending the $38, which is less than twice what you're going to pay for this, to get more than twice of the amount of fragrance. Listen, I've been a fan of Sol de Janeiro 62 for a very, very long time, before it was even called 62. The next thing is body scrubs. And for the win, we have the Tree Hut body scrubs. They specifically have in here the Moroccan Rose Chase Sugar Scrub. I don't 100% love that one, but I wanted to point out all of these. Those are the new ones that I purchased the other day and will continue to be quite possibly my favorite body product for life. They're so inexpensive. They're like $10, something like that, 10, $11. You can pick them up at Ulta. They're really super easy to find. And they have a ton of different scents. I have a lemonade blueberry sorbet in there. I have a cotton candy one in there. My favorite specifically is the cotton candy one, but I also know that there's a Tahitian vanilla one that is so So good. Again, it smells like a cupcake, so if you're not interested in smelling like a cupcake, don't use them. But I do think that there's enough like scrubby bits, enough sugar scrubby bits in it and oil to not only slough off the dead skin, but also keep your body really, really moisturized. I can tell when I have not used the Shea Sugar Scrub in one of my showers recently. I usually do it twice a week, but I can tell when I've went more than the regular amount of days because my skin gets really ashy and so dry, and I just really love that product. I will also tell you that they have a really fantastic shave oil that I hands down will continue to repurchase over every other shaving oil or gel or product that I've ever used. Those Tree Hut ones are fantastic. For body lotion, they have the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Boom Boom Cream. This has been a cult favorite for a very long time. I do think that that is fantastic. I also have found a new favorite this year, heavily influenced by Steph from It's Just Steph. This is the Fenty Beauty Butter Drop, and it smells like cinnamon. Oh my God, it smells like cinnamon toast. And it is just so good, so moisturizing. So yes, I love the Sol de Janeiro product. I actually have it back there. I don't know if when the doors were open you guys saw it. I am a Sol de Janeiro fan, but I also really have found a new favorite as well. I can see why this is also a favorite for a lot of people because it is very good, and it smells it smells good enough to eat. The biggest problem with that one is that it's pretty expensive. It's $50 for the jug that you get, but it's a decent sized jug. It lasted me, I think my last full size lasted me a good probably 4 months because it's thick enough that you don't need a whole lot of it. It continues to stay moisturizing and it spreads far enough that you don't need a whole lot of it. So there's that. But I do know that once it's turned, it's turned. Don't use it anymore after that point because then it just stinks. For body wash, they have the Bath & Body Works 1,000 Wishes body wash, and I 100% concur that the Bath & Body Works body washes are some of my favorite body washes to use. I have used multiple different flavors or scents, if you will, and I have also used multiple different body washes. I haven't used bar soap in a very long time. This is my choice of soap for my body. But I will also say I hate 1,000 Wishes. So yes, I think that their body wash is amazing. No, I do not think that that is a good choice for scent profiles because it is so perfumey. That 1,000 Wishes, it smells like a mix between alcohol and perfume. It's awful in my humble opinion. But the Bath & Body Works body washes are about $15. You can get them on sale. As a matter of fact, I think I got a message this morning that Bath & Body Works was having a $3.95 body care sale, so you can get them on sale. I would suggest if you're going to go after their body washes, definitely wait for a sale because they happen all the time. The semi-annual sales are the best time to get those kind of things. Those happen twice a year. Like, wait for a sale, but those are definitely good. They also chose the Bath & Body Works hand sanitizers, their PocketBac hand sanitizers, as the best in beauty for hand sanitizer, and that I completely disagree on. I think that, as they start to dry on your hands, they're very sticky and they are very fragrant, but the alcohol of the sanitizer takes over that fragrance and then they just kind of stink. I really like, I think they're called Motherland or something like that, hand sanitizers. I pick them up at Ulta Beauty. They're typically in the impulse fixtures. They're Touchland. They're really good, and they're not sticky, and they last a long time, and their fragrance isn't overtaken by the hand sanitizer, the alcohol in the hand sanitizers. And that's the one I would choose. But the PocketBacs are $9. The Touchlands are a little bit more expensive than that. I think they're $16, but they're quite a bit bigger. They're really like felt. They just kind of fit in your purse. They're kind of flat. They're really nice. And I don't feel like the PocketBacs are your best choice for hand sanitizer. For bath product, they have the Dr. Teal's Foaming Bath. So first and foremost, I've never used this specific product before. I had a hysterectomy many moons ago. I don't think this was around the last time I was menstruating. But with that said, I've used a ton of Dr. Teal's products, from their soaking salts to their foaming bath stuffs, and I love Dr. Teal's in my bath. I think that Dr. Teal's does I don't know, some kind of magic with its bath salts, bath soaps, bath foams that help your body just to consume, relax, and regenerate while you're in the bath, when you're taking a bath, more than any other product I've ever used. That specific one is $7. You can get Dr. Teal's at Ulta. Pretty inexpensive. You can get a range of products from Dr. Teal's at Ulta on Amazon in your grocery stores, I believe. And they're very worth it. In the clean category, I just snipped a couple of things in the clean category because I had something to say about them. I'm not typically just a clean beauty kind of fanatic, but I have used these products and I just had some words of wisdom. For clean foundation, we have the Bare Minerals Original Loose Powder Foundation with SPF 15. It is a $39 powder foundation, and it is really good. If you are into a powder foundation, a loose powder foundation, it's one of those foundations that you take a brush and move it around, get the powder really into your brush, and then just buff it onto your skin, and it is seamless. I think that Bare Minerals is a really great brand. I don't think that they get enough love here on this space. This foundation was the only foundation that I would use on my skin for years. I love this foundation. I don't use it so much anymore because my preferences have just changed from a powder foundation to a liquid foundation. I also like a cream stick. I feel like it looks better on me than powder, and that's a personal preference. But this is truly a really good powder foundation. For clean mascara, they chose the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara, and I disagree. This is a $28 mascara that I feel like is a waste of $28. I felt like when I used it that it did absolutely nothing for my lashes. It did nothing for length, for volume, for anything. It barely looked like I was wearing a mascara at all. Maybe a tint of color was what I was getting from this mascara. I love that it's clean, but when a product is clean, sometimes you have to lose something with that product, because sometimes those chemicals that make it not clean are what gives it that little bit of oomph to let it stand and rise above. And I feel like this mascara lost too much of that being clean. And I know that Ilia Beauty is a clean beauty brand, so that's not going to change for them. But I do think that this mascara does absolutely nothing. And the last thing I want to talk about for clean beauty products, the last thing that I want to talk about, period, is for clean lip gloss or lipstick. We chose the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jellies, and I 100% concur. These are really great in the clean beauty space, and they come in a plethora of colors. They feel really good on your lips. They're much like an oil in that you can feel it like hours later. They wear away beautifully, and I feel like they're really good. The one caveat to this, and with any clean beauty brand, is that they are clean. So they do not have the things that keep them, they just go bad so quick. And when these go bad, oh my God, they go bad. They are awful. They taste like vomit on your lips. And I know that sounds disgusting, but it is disgusting. It is truly disgusting. But when they're good, they're good. I love Tower 28 lip jellies. I think I have 3 of them in my collection. I'll need to give them the good old sniff test because they've been in my collection for a while. But I have quit buying them because they just go bad far too quick for me and my collection. But for an everyday consumer who maybe has 1 or 2 lip glosses and is going to use it all the way through, this is a really smart choice. and they're like $16 at Sephora. So, I mean, really great price point as well. With that said, that is it. That is all I have for you. Those are the items that I really wanted to run through with you from the Allure Best of Beauty Readers' Choice Awards. What are your thoughts? Have you watched or looked at the Readers' Choice Awards from Allure Beauty? And I know that the article came out, I think sometime last month, maybe even the month before. Let's be honest, I'm a little behind on my videos, but let me know what your thoughts are. What were your favorite choices, or what were laughable choices in your humble opinion? I would be interested to know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to hit a girl up in the comment section. And with that said, thank you guys. Just thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you and yours are well. I hope that you are healthy and safe and getting along as best you can. I hope that you are all loving each other. And you know, I don't know why none of you brought this to my attention, but my daughter did today. She goes, "Why do you ask them to love each other from afar?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like way back when, it was because when I first started doing this outro, it was because of COVID, right? But we're not in that space anymore. So just love each other. Just be amazing human beings. Love each other so dang much. Don't be mean. Be kind. And I love you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, friends.